It's a new season. It's a new day. Fresh anointings are flowing my way. It's a season of power and prosperity. It's a new season and it's coming to me.
Oh, it's a new season. It's a new day. Fresh anointings are flowing my way. Yes, it's a season of power and prosperity. It's a new season and it's coming to me. It's a new season. It's a new day. Fresh anointings are flowing my way. It's a season of
Yes, indeed. It is a new season. A new season to begin anew. And I'd like to start today with gratitude. Grateful for all that is and all that's yet to be. And right here and now, I know there's only one life. That life is God. It's whole, it's perfect, it's complete. It's my life. It's the life of everyone in this room, those on live stream who can hear my voice. Know that that one life is our life. So today I'm declaring and knowing that this service is complete in the mind of God. I know there's perfect pitch, there's perfect harmony, there's a perfect word spoken from Reverend Dereca Blackman. I know that the universe gives her what she needs when she needs it, and she transfers it on to us. So I'm accepting the word, the music, the song. I'm grateful for our team here today, our production team, our music ministry, our ushers, our greeters, our health and wellness, and anyone who's had anything to do with this service today. I am thankful. I'm affirming also that our hearts are open to receive. Open to receive the love that is, the grace of God, the peace that passes all understanding. Whatever you need today, open up and receive it. So with great gratitude, I give thanks. I allow this to be, and so it is.
It's a new season. It's a new day. Fresh anointings are flowing my way. It's a season of power and prosperity. It's a new season. It's a new season. It's a new season, and it's coming to me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, music ministry this morning. And welcome everybody. Welcome to our Sunday service, the last Sunday in November. And we close this month celebrating gratitude, but we're always grateful, always grateful. So I'd like to do something a little different. I want to flip the script on the music ministry. And I'd like for Paris to make his way down the stage, down the room. We're going to do that song, God is So Good. We need to warm up a little bit in here.
It's so wonderful to see you this morning, EASTBAY, and to celebrate how good God is together. Well, woke up this morning singing this song.
God is so good.
I got up this morning singing.
God is so
good. I got up this morning singing.
God is so good.
My God is.
My God is so good to me.
Got up this morning singing this song.
God is so good. I got up this morning singing. God is so good.
I got up this morning singing.
God is so good.
My God
is so good to me.
Yeah. Feeling good down in my soul. I say,
God is so good.
well, I'm feeling good down in my soul. I say,
God is so
well,
good.
well, I'm feeling good down in my soul. I say,
God is so good.
my God is
so good to me.
well. Every day, every way,
God is so good.
every day, every way, God is so good. Every day, in every way, God is so good. My God is morning. I say,
God is so
well, East Bay's in the church this morning. I say,
God is so
well. The people say that East Bay's in the church this morning.
God is so good.
My God is
so
good to me. Well,
when my day is
every day, God is so good. Every day, every way, God
is so good.
every day, every way. God is so good. My God is.
My God is so.
My God is.
My God is so.
My God is.
My God is so good to
Yes.
me.
To me. Yeah. It's all right to have a little church. Amen. It's so wonderful. Ashe.
Ah, yes, God is so good. That felt so good. How about you? Did that feel good? Now it feels a little bit warmer in this room. It was a little chilly. Now we warmed it up and we can move on. So good morning. My name is Arlene King. I'm grateful to be your pulpit assistant today at East Bay. And for those who are with us for the first time, welcome. Those who are with us virtually, welcome. We welcome you as well. And we just want to know you to know that we love you, we appreciate you, and we thank God for you. Amen? Amen. All right. So going forward, just want to remind you all that we believe in the power of prayer here at East Bay. So we encourage you not to leave the live stream or the physical space with any concerns. We have practitioners who are available to pray with you and on your behalf, and I encourage you to take care of that for yourself. Take care of yourself. You may see some of us in purple stoles, but you will know a practitioner when you see them, so I encourage you to reach out for prayer. And the prayer room will be open immediately following this service for 30 minutes. So we're going to go into our sacred covenant, and I want to just say a little bit about that because every week we see it, but I want us to embody it. There's a reason that we did that. We created the covenant. We're calling forth the highest and best minister for East Bay, which means we have to call forth our highest and best. So this covenant is about what we call forth for us, which we will attract. So if I'm happy, joyous, and full of love, I can't help but attract that. And you'll see that as we go through the covenant. You can read it if you want to, but embody that idea of calling forth what is for this community. Does that make sense? Are you with me? All right. So with that, I'll turn it over to JJ for that, and following the covenant, we will have our announcements.
There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of His blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community.
Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to glorify God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as love.
I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, "True love has the power to heal and transform any situation and bring deep meaning to our lives. Love is patient, love is kind, it always honors, always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." Thich Nhat Hanh, 1 Corinthians 13.
As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as a beacon of light, growing with us with love and wisdom.
Knowing that I and my beloved community must become that which we intend to bring forth and experience in our new minister, I know now these truths about myself. I am inspiring, uplifting, and activating our community to live in harmony with all life.
I am igniting individual and collective energetic movement towards spiritual truth and freedom. I am modeling and supporting profound levels of connection, healing, revealing, and growth in self and community. I am cultivating an environment in which social justice and care for the needs of our greater community is part of our culture. I am engaging in mystical teaching and practices that support deep personal and collective transformation and connection to oneness.
As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they will be revealed in a way that will glorify God and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious. Amen.
Good morning, East Bay, and happy Sunday. My name is Reverend Sherry Greer, and I am here with your community announcements. This time of year, many of us share in having heavy hearts. But today, don't go home with a hurt in your heart. Right after service, join our practitioners for prayer. If you are here with us in the sanctuary, practitioners are available to pray with you right after service. And if you are joining us virtually, practitioners are available to pray with you in our virtual prayer room. Click on the link in the chat and you will be taken directly into the room. This week, we are grateful to have our own Reverend Dereca Blackman, and our music selection is by NuDay. Enjoy the service. And now, for Weekday Upliftment, join us on Facebook Live for our daily prayer at 8 a.m. and our midday meditation, which begins at 12:30 p.m. Next, we are excited to let you know that the Between the Lines bookstore has reopened. We offer many items, new and used. Come by and see us Sundays between the hours of 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. Keep an eye open for our extended hours, which are coming soon. Up next, we would like to introduce our practitioners' second annual calendar fundraiser. The cost this year for the calendar is $25. But if you pre-order yours by December 1st, you pay only $20. Buy yourself one and buy one as a gift. You can purchase your pre-order in the church bookstore or online at www.ebcrs.org. And now, Youth Spirit Artworks, our community partner, is hosting a tour of their tiny house village on Sunday, December 12th from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. We would love for you to join us and bring your favorite homemade dish to share. We will be caravanning over there together after service. For more information and questions, meet us in the back of the church after service. Please be aware of our holiday schedule. Note, we will be closed on December 22nd and December 29th. We will resume on the following Wednesday. Are you interested in being of service at East Bay Church? Join our 2 and 30 program where you give service to the East Bay community and beyond for 2 hours every 30 days remotely or in person. Please join us. There is a place for everyone. And remember, when you serve, you make a difference. Women, it's that time again. The Women's Loving Heart Empowerment Circle meets every first Saturday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. The Women's Circle is a safe and loving community of women, and all women of any age are welcome. For more information, please email Reverend Sherry at spiritualcoach2011@gmail.com. That's spiritualcoach2011@gmail.com. If you missed any announcements, go to www.ebcrs.org, where you can view a list of all our community announcements. This is Reverend Sherry again, signing off. Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, have an amazing and prosperous week.
She really enjoys doing that, let me tell you. So, yeah, we do have a lot going on here at East Bay, and one thing that we didn't announce for the youth and family, they're having a golfing event at the Castro Valley Putt-Putt Golf Place. So if you have children who are interested, you can reach out to youth and family. I think Dr. Cynthia's in the back who can answer any questions about that activity that's happening on December 12th, I believe, yes. And more to come. I'm just going to tell you now, December is packed, so take a little break this week, because after that it's going to be on again. It's a busy December. We're going to close this year out with a bang with all the activities that are going on. So our speaker today, Reverend Dereca Blackman, is going to be with us live from the Virgin Islands in a few minutes. Yes, we set it up, and she's ready and available to deliver the word. I could say a lot of things about Reverend Dereca, but today I want to talk about her commitment to not only East Bay, but what she does in the world around inclusion. And you'll hear, I'm sure you'll hear part of that today during her message. She's a very powerful person that just believes in what she believes and delivers what she believes, and there's no question about what she believes. And that's a great place to be, because you know where she stands. So I don't even know what our topic is today, actually. We'll be surprised. But I know she is fired up because we met with her earlier this morning. And I'm just happy that wherever she is, she's available to East Bay. And that speaks a lot about her commitment to us and to the greater world. And we have NuDay trio today. So we're happy to have Trevin Lee on drums, Lisa Bayless on vocal, and Vanessa Wynn on vocal, and they will bless our hearts and our souls with whatever they sing, because I forgot the songs. So go NuDay. And after NuDay, you will hear Reverend Dereca.
What a blessing to wake up this morning. I'm gonna need some help with this song on this side, so wait for it. Something woke me up this morning, yeah, this morning. Well, something woke me up this morning. It must have been, it had to be, I know it was the hand of the Lord. Yeah, something woke me up this morning, this morning, this morning. Something woke me up this morning. It must have been, it had to be, I know it was the hand of the Lord. Sing it, Vanessa.
Who told my heart to beat while I was fast asleep? Who kept me safe every night and day, restoring me? Who raised me up and gives me love that's so complete? And every obstacle, it gives to me the victory.
Something dried my tears this morning, this morning, this morning.
Something dried my tears
this morning.
It must have been,
it had to be, I know it was the hand of the Lord.
Who told my heart to beat while I was fast asleep? Who kept me safe every night and day, restoring me? Who raised me up and gives me love that's so complete? And every obstacle, God gives to me the victory.
Something dried my tears this morning, need you to help me. Listen to what I'm gonna say. While I was sleeping, while I was sleeping, while I was sleeping, oh, while I was sleeping.
That
Help
side
me.
should be singing.
While I was sleeping.
While I was sleeping.
While I was sleeping.
I can't hear you.
Oh, isn't it good while we were sleeping? God was taking care of us. While I was sleeping, He was blessing us. While I was sleeping. Oh,
Okay, this side.
while I
You're
was
singing with me.
while I was sleeping. While I was sleeping. Oh, while I was sleeping.
There was something that was keeping me.
While I was sleeping.
There was something that was keeping me.
While I was sleeping.
There was something that was keeping me.
Oh, you sound good out there. While I was sleeping.
There was something that was keeping me.
While I was sleeping.
There was something that was keeping me.
While I was sleeping.
There was something that was keeping me.
Oh, good. Something woke me up this morning. This morning. This morning. Something woke me up this morning. It must have been, it had to be, I know it was. It must have been, it had to be, I know it was. It must have been, it had to be, I know it was. The hand, yeah, of the Lord. Yeah, yes. And the people say, we're so blessed. Yes. Give yourself a hand. That was beautiful. We have so much to be grateful for. Ashe Salah.
I am grateful for the things that God has done. Yes, I'm grateful for the victories we've won. I could go on and on and on about your words, because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful just to praise you, Lord. Flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart. It's gratefulness. Grateful.
Yes.
So grateful. I am grateful for the things that God has done. Yes, I'm grateful for the victories we've won. I could go on and on and on about your words, because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful just to praise you, Lord. Lord.
my heart is gratefulness. Grateful, 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 gratefulness.
It's flowing from my heart.
Grateful, 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 gratefulness.
It's flowing from my heart.
Grateful, 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 gratefulness.
It's flowing from my heart.
Grateful, 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 gratefulness.
Flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart. Flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart is gratefulness.
Amen.
Yes, 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 yes. Give it up for NuDay. Wow, how wonderful. Me up this morning, and it told me to be grateful. It said I need to be grateful for this opportunity for this day. I'm grateful for NuDay, for Lisa Bayless. I'm grateful for Vanessa Wynn. I'm grateful for Trevor Lee, for NuDay, and the music that they put together in our hearts. Let's give another hand for our music ministry. Yes, that's right. That's right. I want to just acknowledge East Bay is in the house. I want to express my gratitude for each and every person who made it into the sanctuary, and everyone everywhere. Whenever you're seeing this message, know that East Bay is with you right where you are. I want to give thanks for our audio visual ministry, for Arlene King, and the absolute dedication that she has to this community and to this church as a practitioner, as a board member, as a way maker. Come on. I just want to just thank you, Ebony, for everything that you've done for East Bay and for me. I'm so grateful, so grateful. And I guess I should say I'm Reverend Dereca, and I use she and they gender pronouns. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that today, but I say what my gender pronouns are because you can't tell what pronouns I use by looking at me. And I use she and they specifically because there are folks in the gender non binary community who use they and them pronouns to describe themselves. And some of us, this is new for us. We don't really understand. So I bring it up when I say my name so that if you have questions, we can talk about it. And some folks last time I was here came and talked to me after service about it. And I'm open to that conversation. There's tons of resources in the world. There's a website called mypronouns.org if you want to just learn more about gender pronouns. But it's important to me. It's important to me to say something, speak up in support of folks who often don't have the platform that I do. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So we've just come off of our Thanksgiving holiday for those of you who celebrate it under that name. And I was thinking about what the message was going to be today, and I know that in our community, with our heightened awareness of social justice, many of us just recognize that there's more than one side to the story. And so that's what my talk is about today. It's about recognizing that for everything we experience, there's more than one side to the story. All right. And so some of us had some time on Thursday to celebrate with a Thanksgiving feast, family, and football. And that's a lovely tradition in so many of our communities, really just to get together and to be thankful for each other. And I think that's a beautiful intention to set. And at the same time, right around this end of the year, this holiday season, if you will, there are so many people who are suffering physically, emotionally, psychologically, in the body, so many people in pain because they have an experience that's so different from ours. They may feel like, I don't have anybody to share the holidays with. I don't have anybody. But one of the things that changes our mind about everything is service. So when folks go out and actually serve other people in need, folks who may be without a house or without a meal on that day, something happens. And we begin to be more grateful for what it is that we do have. And so I just want to invite you wherever you are, it's okay. It's okay to feel sad. And in this holiday season, there's an opportunity to be of service because, see, there's another side to the story. Everybody doesn't have all the things that we have, but when we look eye to eye with each other, we see the other side. And we're grateful, and folks are grateful, and we create that oneness that we speak about in the abstract. It happens in reality when we are of service. So I'm so grateful for East Bay and the service community that we are, the food that we provide, not just at the holidays, but all throughout the year. I'm grateful for who we are in our community and in the world. But there's still yet another side, isn't there, to this holiday called Thanksgiving? There's the side of the indigenous native people of this land that we call sometimes America or the United States. See, for some folks, that day is considered a national day of mourning. People express their grief at the tragedy, the genocide that has befallen their people. They come together and they celebrate their resilience in their existence, but they mourn the losses that they had. And each and every one of us owes a debt because where you are, wherever you are right now, is native land. If you're in these Americas, this is native land. And so I just want to stop and acknowledge that where I am here in the Virgin Islands, the Saboni and Arawak, the Taino people, were the first people in this place. And if you don't know the people who are the first in the place you are, find out. Find out. It's not that hard. You know, there used to be a time you had to go to the library and the card catalog. Now all you got to do is ask Google, right? Find out so you can say their names, so that you can celebrate them. And it's not just a one-time little thing. Think about what is the impact of the decisions we make today on Native people whose land we stand on. The way in which we respect the land, the way in which we respect the rights of the people to have their land back. There's so many ways to get involved outside of our own selves. If you're not indigenous to these United States, it's okay to take a little extra space and a little extra time to look at the story a different way and see what is mine to do, right? How can I tell it a little differently to my children, my grandchildren, my community? How can I at least just take the time to acknowledge that there's work still yet to do for justice for Native peoples? So you know that really all I ever get to really preach on is my own life experiences. It's just the kind of preacher I am. I come from the great Reverend Eloise Oliver, who my favorite expression of hers was always, ask me how I know. Because I like to talk about the things that happen to me because they're the great lessons in my life. And I know that if I were to go, sometimes I talk to people, if I were to go up on a mountaintop somewhere, or if I was to just be too high up in a pulpit somewhere, I'd get away from the real life experiences that create the oneness between me and everyone who's listening to the sound of my voice at this time or any time. And so I don't know if I like to, I just will say that Spirit invites me to reflect on my own experiences, to really think through what is mine to share. So once again, I've got to talk about fighting. When Arlene was introducing me, she talked about how I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, and I speak my truth, and it's true, I do. And yet, every time there seems to be a little bit of blowback, that is an opportunity for me to kind of look again at not what I say, but maybe how I say it. So, a couple of things happened since the last time I was with you, East Bay, that I got to kind of take some responsibility for. So, the first thing is a couple months ago, I talked about a breakup that I was going through in a relationship. And, you just never know how things are going to land or where they're going to go turn up or who's going to see whatever you put out in the world. I just put it out from my heart. But this particular sermon seemed to have fallen in the hands of the person I had the breakup with. And let me just say, yes, let me just say that he was not too happy with my version of the story and what happened. So, as we talk about another side of the story today, he asked, I'm not sure if what he did was ask, I'm sure what he did was demand. What he asked for was a retraction, but at best, he said, I need to tell the other side of the story. So the story that you heard was that we had this great thing going and then we hit a bump in the road and he spoke to me in a way that was very clearly to me not something that I wanted to experience in my life 1 second more. Now this is true. See, and this is what insulates us sometimes for listening to what other people, the feedback that people give us is we know what's true. That's true. I'm not getting ready to change or retract that statement. That happened. But see, what he said I didn't say was my part. What happened before that happened? What was it that he was so upset about? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe that whatever you're upset about allows you to be able to talk any old kind of way. And I don't believe that if you fighting with a lot of different people, it's them. I'm just going to say, I'm not talking about your life. I'm just saying if the same thing is happening to you with different people, it's probably you. So when I got this feedback, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to tell too much truth. You know how it is on Sunday. I just give what is given to me. That's all I could do. So I will say that perhaps there was a little bit of drama on my part that went on before he lost his cool. I will acknowledge that there was a little bit of drama and that he was feeling hurt and unsupported and he lost his cool. And in his mind, he said, people argue, they argue. And I respect that. And I respect my boundary. So nobody has to be wrong. This is what we do. We want to make somebody wrong. The other side is wrong, but there's 2 sides, 3 sides, 5 sides to a story. And if you listen closely, you'll find out they're not just black and white. They're not just right and wrong. There's not just me versus you. And the way that I know this to be true is because it keeps happening to me. I had a conflict with a colleague and I was outdone. When I was in the 12-step program in Al-Anon, my sponsor used to say, every time y'all can't see, I got my hands on my hips. Every time I would get into that, how dare you kind of feeling, I don't know if you had that feeling, but I had that feeling sometimes. Now, how dare you, right? When that feeling happens, she said, you got to pay attention because there's a lesson in that for you. So I had a colleague I had a conflict with, and I was so offended at the assertion that he made about me. That is not the truth about who I am. See, we spiritual people, we love to talk about the divine truth, don't we? That is not the truth. I am a child of God. I'm a perfect child of God, and nothing that you have ever said can interfere with my divine inheritance. But sometimes it might be something on the other side of the story you want to take a look at. I mean, I'm just telling you, for me, I had this moment of clarity where I recognized that the specific incident that was being discussed might not have happened exactly the way that he thought. But that wasn't the issue. See, that specific incident was the tipping point on a whole bunch of other stuff that I actually had done. You understand? See, we want to talk about, well, no, that's not what happened here, right there. Okay. But again, wherever you go, there you are. So perhaps there were some things that happened 2 and 3 and 4 steps ago that led him to be sort of fed up with the way that I spoke to him or the incident that happened. And so I was all blocked in on the truth of who I am and the truth of what happened on that occasion. And I needed to step back and think about his side of the story for a second. To just think about what is it that he's really upset about, because it wasn't the little thing that happened. It was something deeper. And when I took a step back, I was able to humble myself. See, that's what we're talking about here. When we're looking for the other side of the story, it's enough to humble yourself to say, I might not be 100% right. See, when we went with Thanksgiving, we were like, oh, I don't, I'm not giving up my turkey just because Native Americans. That's not what folks are saying. We're saying there's enough space in here for you to acknowledge this is a day of celebration for some and a day of pain for others. So that's what's happening when we see the other side of the story. We get the whole picture, we get the whole idea. And if we want to be one, and we say in this church, in this philosophy, that we want to be one. If we want to be one, then nobody can be outside that circle that is me. See, because everything I am, you are, and everything you're feeling, the hurt you're feeling is the truth that I have to step into and see my part. So I just want to say there was another side of the story. And as we think about that, it's helpful when we come up against these societal issues where there seems to be one narrative that's being depicted. So if you were here the last time I was here, it was Youth Sunday. And I spoke about many things, one of which was Dave Chappelle, the comedian, and his series of comedy specials on Netflix that have caused a great deal of pain in the transgender community. And I'm going to talk about it again today. Now, some people will say, well, now, Rev, why are you talking about this? Because what is done to the least of these is done unto me. Is done unto the spirit, is done unto the consciousness, is done unto the oneness. So there is no spot where God is not. And if we mean that, then when we see people are suffering, whether they're the native folks or the people we love or the people we work with or the people we don't even know, right? So many people I've talked to about this issue with Dave Chappelle don't even know one transgender person, right? But it doesn't matter whether you have somebody in your life. It matters whether you have somebody in your consciousness. See, that's what we teach here, is that my consciousness is whole and wide enough and aware enough that I see everything and everyone as God. And so what I said on Youth Sunday was that when we come in contact with a community that we don't know, we need to be in listening mode. We need to listen to people when they tell us who they are. So much of what we get in the media, and I like to talk about the television, so much of what we get in the media is somebody else's depiction. You might notice, if you're Black, you might know that for a long time we didn't get to tell our own story. You might notice, if you're a woman, you might know that for a long time the way women were portrayed in the media and the television was just a fraction of who we are. And so when we start to talk about listening, we got to listen to people when they tell their story of who they are. And then we also have to listen if they give us the insight of what they need from us in support. When I was talking about Native folks, there was a whole list I found online of things that we can do to support Native people, to get their land back, to honor their memory, to tell the truth in our textbooks. There's a whole lot of things we can do. And so when you're in contact with a community outside of your own and you get marching orders, march, right? Just march. It's sometimes such a little thing that's being asked. Donate something, help out, volunteer your time. Sometimes it's just a little thing that's being asked. Now, in my sassiness, my interest in telling the story in my own way, as Arlene said, I talked about another thing we need to listen to, which is that inner voice that tells us we're right I know something about that. That inner voice that tells us, well, I need to say something about, this community because I think they shouldn't be talking about it this way, or that the second you feel like you're ready to make a proclamation about how any community should be handling their oppression, the expression I said then was lay down. Because there's this meme that went on the internet and a woman would say, lay down, and she's singing, but that was too tart, as my grandmother would say. There was another way for me to talk about this, and I want to give it due justice today. Because this conversation with Dave Chappelle has actually continued beyond the specials. In the specials, Dave Chappelle kind of does this thing sometimes that I like to call the oppression Olympics. He's comparing the oppression that has happened to Black folks to the oppression that has happened to gay folks. And in the last special, especially the closer, he just did a lot of that. We call that the oppression Olympics, and it's not useful, right? It's not useful to try to say whose hurt is worse than somebody else's. When you do that comparison, you forget about something called intersectionality, which is there are people who are in all of these communities. And Dave Chappelle and so many of us forget that. Let me give you an example. He went to his high school this past Tuesday, and the students had protested because, see, we think that young people are, as we like to say, doing too much. But if we pay attention, this is not just the voice of the future. These are people who are paying attention to what's happening today. They are the news flash we need about how the world has already changed. We just need to see if we're willing to keep up with the compassion, right? See, we're so worried about their canceling, but what's happening is there's a level of compassion like there has never been before for people who are marginalized and oppressed. See? So he went to the school, and there was a lot of critiques that the students gave, bless they strong-minded hearts. And one of them shouted out during his visit to the school, "Your comedy kills." Your comedy kills. Because sometimes we're in this bubble and we're like, oh, it's just a joke. I don't understand why everybody's so upset. But these are young people who are acutely aware of the impacts that this kind of media has on this group of people. They're acutely aware. They're all, that's what we talk about, the information age and social media. They're paying attention to the impact that these kinds of oppression Olympics erasure stories are having on the community in question. But when the student yelled out, "Your comedy kills," let me tell you, I don't want to just pick on Dave Chappelle because this is how we are. We want to fight back, right? Here's what Dave Chappelle said. He said, Black people are killed every day. The person said, "Your comedy kills," in reference to trans folks. He said, Black people are killed every day, except he didn't say Black people. He said the N word. So here he is at his high school, right? And the student spoke out, "Your comedy kills," right? Just like Native folks might say, Americans killed us. Malcolm X used to say, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us. 10 times fold more true for Native folks. Your comedy kills. He said, N-words are killed every day. But see, here's the other side to the story. Who are these Black people that you're talking about, Dave Chappelle? Who are they? Because see, we know that Black men are 5 to 7 more times likely to be murdered than white men. We know that. And because we're a conscious community, we know that women are 2 to 3 to 10 times more likely to experience domestic violence and murder and all kinds of things. We're conscious and aware of that. So when we think about the Black people that are killed every day that Dave Chappelle is talking about, we know that for the most part. But what about the Black queer people, the Black LGBTQ people? What about the Black trans people? Who are you talking about when you say Black people are killed every day? Who are you talking about? Are you just erasing all the people? Because this is what happens when we get a one story, right? The danger of a single story is that we think we can tell it for everybody involved, right? 3 Black women, queer women, created Black Lives Matter. But we still had to create a campaign that says say her name, because even though women created the hashtag, we weren't even talking about the Black women that were killed. See, some of y'all know that you could be Black and sexist. right? Some of you understand that you can be Black and homophobic, you can be Black and transphobic. So here's the deal. When Dave Chappelle was making his 2019 Netflix special Sticks and Stones, 21 of the 22 trans people who were killed that year were Black. So yeah, 5 to 7 times more likely for Black men, 95 times more likely for trans women. I'm not trying to talk about an oppression Olympics. I'm saying make a bigger tent. Understand that when you talk about a people, there's diversity within those people. The Black experience is the trans experience, is the queer experience, is the disabled experience, is the low income experience, is the woman's experience, is the Muslim's experience. The Black experience is so big. You cannot limit it to what Dave Chappelle's story is. That's not the story we want to tell. As a matter of fact, we don't want Dave Chappelle to tell the story of trans people at all. I'm up here because I want to be an ally, a support. I want to practice allyship to the trans community. But Arlene and I were talking about it last time. And the real thing to do with real action and empowerment, you really want to be an ally, give up some power. So one of the things that I've agreed to do is for one of my talks in the new year in 2022, we're going to bring trans folks to tell their own story. Because this is what I found when I talk to people. Dave Chappelle is the only person they ever heard talk about trans issues. They never heard trans people tell their own story. They heard Dave Chappelle's version of the story. Or maybe their friend who saw the Dave Chappelle got something to say about trans folks they don't know. They don't know. One of the students said to Dave Chappelle, I think you were childish in the way you handled things. He wasn't trying to, just attack me. Say, I think you were childish. Dave Chappelle told him, I don't believe you could make one of the decisions that I have to make on a daily basis. You see that arrogance, that hubris? I'm not talking about Dave Chappelle. I already talked about me. I got the same kind of arrogance because there's only one of us, right? This is said in an effort for all of us to wake up to the versions of the story that we tell. Because over 50% of trans people would not even share the violence that they've experienced. So those statistics that we hear, they're so undercounted. So I might humbly offer Dave Chappelle that you couldn't face one of the decisions that community has to deal with every day in the violence that they experience. I'm just here to tell a different story. That's all I'm trying to say. We have to tell a different story. And as we hear these stories come up, it's not so we can feel guilty. It's not so we can feel ashamed. It's not so we can feel bad that we celebrated Thanksgiving or that we ate good. It's not that we can condemn Dave Chappelle and everything that he's doing. It's for us to recognize there is a power in our consciousness. And when we open our field of experience, of consciousness, of wisdom, of love, to include everybody, especially the people who are on the other side of the story, everything changes. That's how we make change in the world. That's how we do something different, because the crimes against Native people, Native trans people have some of the worst. These women have just been disappearing from Native communities. And we just don't know what we don't know. So just listen and trust people. Just trust people to tell their own story, because 1 Corinthians says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spoke as a child. But in order for us to grow up spiritually, we've got to put away those childish things that says, my story is right, my way is right, I want it my way. Because as Corinthians says, first we start seeing through a glass darkly. But then we start seeing face to face. Now we kind of know in part. But what happens is then we shall know even as I am known. So what that means is when I start to think of you as me, I can see more clearly. I'm not just stuck in the mirror of my own experience. I actually am looking at you face to face. And then I begin to see you as I see myself. In 1 Corinthians 13, 11 through 13 closes this way. It says, and now abideth faith and hope and love, these three. But the greatest of these is what I know you already know. The greatest of these is love. So let us love each other enough to see the other side of the story, to do better, to speak better, to take action, to listen, and to love unconditionally. Let us pray. Mother, Father, Most High, Divine God, known by so many names in so many places as so many faces, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I know you, that I know that you are the truth, no matter where truth is taught, that there is no exception, there is no hierarchy, there is no oppression Olympics. I am God, and this is true for every being everywhere without exception. There is no spot where God is not. There is no one more than me, less than me. I have no enemy because I am one with love. I am one with the all in all. I am one with the I am. So there is no weapon that could ever form or prosper against me. And there is no evil for me to fight. There is nothing for me to fight. There is only an opportunity for me to practice and be love. Be love. And so I just declared that this is a celebration of gratitude, of waking up in our right minds, of celebrating with our family, of acknowledging the mourning of the Native people. It's an opportunity for us to forgive somebody who we thought was all the way wrong. It's an opportunity for us to tell a different story. And I'm just grateful. I'm just so grateful that this philosophy, this teaching is big enough for change, it's big enough for justice, it's big enough to move mountains, it's big enough to heal hearts. That at this time of the year are sad. This time in our history are sad. This time in our relationships are sad. This time in our work life, some of us are so sad. But I'm grateful. My mama says that I know an on-time God. I'm grateful that there's something bigger than this. There's a seed that is growing in the darkness, and I don't know what happens in there. I just know that something happens when I water that seed with my consciousness, when I know something else is true. Something happens in that soil. It's divine, it's magical, it's the law perfecting that which I intend, and I intend love. I intend love for me, love for you, love for everybody, everywhere, including Dave Chappelle and my ex and your ex and white folks. Come on. Everybody. And so I just released this word to the perfect activity of the law, knowing that it's done as God intended it, not by my eyes, my sight, my work, my hands, but by my surrender. And so I do. I let go and I let God. And so it is.
Bless me, oh Lord, bless me indeed, enlarge my territory, oh Lord, bless me indeed.
I pray for increase.
Bless me indeed.
I pray for increase.
I want to thank Reverend Dereca for reminding us to enlarge our territory, our mindset of what's possible. she speaks so powerfully of things that seen and unseen and known and unknown, and opens it up and makes it simple. So this is our opportunity not only to broaden our spiritual territory, but be a channel out into the world. Peace, inclusion. So at this time, let's take a breath in, breathing in all that's been said, all that we received today, knowing that we are grateful and we live in a place of gratitude at all times. So it is time for our gracious giving. And I invite you to contribute to the goodness of East Bay through your finances. We are practicing abundance and prosperity here all the time. And this is our perfect opportunity to not only give today, but to support our Giving Tuesday campaign, which will end on Tuesday. So we invite you to contribute from your heart into that space of giving back and giving out. What we do here is we receive and we give out to the world. Many communities are blessed by what we do at East Bay, and we're proud of that, and we know that will continue with your loving support. So bless us indeed. We have an affirmation for our giving today. Today I give joyfully. You will repeat after me. Today I give joyfully. I give prayerfully. I give with thanksgiving. Today I give joyfully. I give prayerfully. I give with thanksgiving. You'll see on the screen there are many ways that we can give to East Bay. We make it really simple. You can send us a check, you can pay online, you can text to give, and the kiosk is actually in the bookstore. So if you want to give there, that's an opportunity as well. So right here and now, let us pray. So we give thanks for the gift, the giver, knowing that our gifts go forward, multiplying, expanding in the world. We know that all of our needs are met, and we accept these gifts with joy and gratitude, and so it is.
So it is.
Ooh, wow. So we are almost complete. Stacy, would you just come up real quick, please, quickly? And I want to acknowledge Dr. Olivia, who's in the building today. It's good to see you. Stacey's just going to give us an update about youth and family.
Hi, everyone. Youth and Family is getting ready to open up after our COVID experience, January, and we're really excited. The garden has grown, and we've got a garden committee making that space open not only for the youth but for also seniors. And it's just really exciting. New plants like avocado tree, citrus tree, and a garden wall. Just a beautiful space. Just kind of that sense of reclaiming our joy and our being together. And so let's just look forward to January. We also have a December Golfland miniature golf trip. So look for that flyer so that you can meet us on December 11th for the Golfland miniature golf. And also on the 18th, there is a Kwanzaa art contest for the youth. So they can come to the church, and Miss Fabiana Crenshaw will be hosting them so that they can get their art on and win a competition. All righty, thank you.
We do look forward to having our young people back in this space, so that's coming in January. So let us stand. I just want you all to know that we appreciate you so much for being here today. It wouldn't have been the same without you, so we're so grateful. And now, let us pray. Giving thanks for this day, for all that's come and all is yet to be. Blessing our speaker, Reverend Dereca, our music ministry, and all of those in service. I know that we leave this place a little bit lighter, with a little bit more love to give, and a lot of gratitude to share. And with that, I say amen, and so it is. And just one thing, we'll hear the music ministry, and I didn't say this earlier, but we will show our video of our new minister profile after service. So we'll hear from the music ministry, so stick around and watch it for those who haven't seen it yet. Thank you.
Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after me.
I see the evidence of your goodness all over my life, all over my life. I see the promises in fulfillment all over my life, all over my life. I see the evidence of your goodness all over my life, all over my life. I see your promises in fulfillment all over my life, all over my life.
I love you, Lord. Your mercy never fails.
The people say, hi, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to EASTBAY Church of Religious Science, a center for spiritual living and growth located in Oakland, California. We are a vibrant, progressive, and loving community committed to teaching and practicing the science of mind and spirit. So it is from this place that we are excited to share our diverse and joyful community with you. Welcome.
EASTBAY Church of Religious Science was chartered in 1974 by the United Church. We have been blessed with amazingly talented spiritual leaders who have nurtured and guided us, leading with the teachings of science of mind principles and practices. We have grown in numbers and spirit over the past years, and we are a strong, vibrant community. Moving from our beginning location, EASTBAY purchased the large corner property at 4130 Telegraph Avenue. EASTBAY Church of Religious Science continues to thrive in the diverse and expansive Temescal District of Oakland, California.
Now at EASTBAY, we have over 20 active Sacred Seva ministries where everyone can find their place. Whether that's serving as an usher, running the live stream, which I do, or being a part of the garden ministry, everyone is encouraged to find a place of service that feeds their passion. Our music ministry, for example, is a major part of EASTBAY. The spirit soars in our singers and musicians, and they break hearts wide open so greater love and light can flow in. EASTBAY's Sacred Activism ministry, also known as SAM, was formalized in 2020. Its 7 pillars, community engagement, diversity and inclusion, sacred engagement, restorative justice, environmental justice, outreach to sidewalk communities, and health and wellness, are areas of action that have always been important to our culture here at EASTBAY. For those committed to a higher calling, East Bay also has outstanding leadership, which includes our ecclesiastical team, our practitioner core of 38 licensed practitioners, and our board of trustees. All in all, everyone here at East Bay is dedicated to our mission, and we show our love to one another through sacred service.
When pandemic restrictions were imposed in March of 2020, East Bay was able to respond quickly, being attuned to the needs and desires of our community. And most importantly, having the technology wizards on board, we were able to broadcast on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook Live. By April 2020, we adapted to multiple weekly virtual offerings, including Sunday morning service with after-service prayer, Wednesday evening service, youth programs, classes, and workshops. We were even able to successfully host our 10th annual prayer symposium.
Grateful, 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 gratefulness.
Throughout the pandemic, the business of the church has been thriving. We continue to upgrade our property through improvements to our physical campus, garden, and grounds. We are committed to the ever-expanding creative expression of life. We are an inclusive community that welcomes individual expression as spiritual revelation, knowing that everyone is uplifted and sustained by authenticity, love, and community. As the mission statement says, East Bay Church is dedicated to the spiritual transformation of the entire planet.
We welcome the minister who feels inspired by this mission and is excited to grow our transformative spiritual center together with our community and committed practitioner team. We are East Bay.
We are East Bay.
We are East Bay.
We are East Bay.
And we welcome you.
And we welcome you.
My name is Sadiq Hassan, and what I love about East Bay is because, one, it's amazing. It's amazing. If you come here, you'll actually have multiple people just praising you, just being welcomed.
I'm Harriet Johnson, and I am on the board of trustees here at East Bay. I have great love for East Bay because, again, I've learned so much here, and it's been a community of love. It's a community of joy. It's a community of growth and development, and just fun. We have fun here. You come as you are, and you come here to express, the joy within you.
My name is Z. Lewis, and I'm a member of the Health and Wellness Ministry. I love East Bay Church of Religious Science, Oakland, California, because of the love that's here, because of the teachings of Ernest Holmes, and because of the beauty that we share, the lessons we learn, and mainly our love and working together at East Bay. Thank you, and so it is.